You need a government that won't make you pay for Obamacare.
You need a government that won't sponsor sex education in public schools.
You need a government that will allow the free market to control your Social Security.
You need a government that will mandate, without due process, STD vaccinations for your teenage daughter.
You need a government that's ran like a corporation, with no compassion.
No compassion for the poor.
No obligation to the sick.
And one that is willing to turn its back on its own citizens when it's not fiscally responsible to help them.
You need a government that...
You need a government that...
You need a government that...
You need a government that works.
You need a government that works for me.
In the summer of 2011,
the northeastern section of the United States was struck by
a once-in-a-generation multitude of disasters.
Tropical storms.
Hurricanes.
Some of the nation's poorest citizens were amongst the hardest hit.
And now they want you and I to pay because
they chose to build their houses where they did.
Liberals would argue that these are the only places many can afford to live.
I would argue that I fail to see
how or why
this is my problem.
Yes. FEMA is the Natural Disaster Relief Agency.
And so long as disasters strike,
when the economy is stable,
political climate allows,
or disaster strikes much closer to my home,
it will be.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Mr. President, I say shame on you for your veiled attempts to redistribute my hard-earned subsidies,
tax shelters,
and no-bid contracts.
Mr. Obama.
Mr. Obama.
Mr. Obama.
Mr. Obama?
Shame on you
for wanting to come to the aid of the 90% of Americans who aren't wealthy.
With disaster relief,
healthcare,
education, and basic human dignities under the law.
Shame on you, sir.
The only real way out of this mess?
More drilling.
More prisons.
And executions.
More deregulation.
As far as I'm concerned, the only thing the federal government should regulate
is a woman's womb.
And her right to choose what to do with it.
So, today,
conservatives and Tea Party members alike,
I say stand up.
Let your voice be heard.
You tell Washington that we will pander to the fringe of our base.
Vacation,
filibuster,
and flat out lie if need be.
Until the country you love and rely on is on its very knees if necessary.
Whatever it takes.
To restore power to its proper place.
In the hands of Wall Street,
the banks,
oil,
and lobbyists.
Who know best what to do with it.
You help us back to prosperity and we promise
we will share it with you.
Just look at how much oil did for you the last 5 years.